Hello, welcome to the Self Learning Platform by Dr. Sushma Singh. Today we are going to start Unit 17 Libertarianism. Let us have summary of the unit. Libertarianism is a political philosophy which has appeared in the last 20-30 years in the United States. This is the political philosophy which has been at the heart of the so-called New Right, which influenced the Thatcher Reagan administrations in the 1980s. Its important exponents are F. A. Hayek, Milton Friedman, Karl Popper, and Talman, Berlin M. Rothbard, Robert Nozick, etc. Its key concepts are as follows. First one is individualism. Libertarianism sees the individual as well as the basic unit of the analysis. Only individualism make choices and are responsible for their actions. It emphasizes the dignity of the individual, which entails both rights and responsibility. Now, what are the individual rights? Because individuals are moral agents, they have a right to be secure in their life, liberty, and property. These rights are not granted by the government or by the society, they are inherent in the nature of human beings. It is intuitively right that individuals enjoy the security of such rights. The burden of explanation should lie with those who would take rights away. The next one is spontaneous order. A great degree of order in society is necessary for individuals to survive and flourish. The great insight of libertarian social analysis is that order in the society arises spontaneously out of the action of thousands of individuals who coordinate their action with those of others in order to achieve their purposes. The most important institutions of human society, such as language, law, money, and market, all have developed spontaneously without central direction. Civil society is another example of spontaneous order. The associations within the civil society are formed for a purpose, but civil society itself is not an organization and does not have a purpose of its own. The next is free markets. To survive and flourish, individuals need to engage in economic activity. The right to property entails the right to exchange property by mutual agreements. Free markets are the economic system of free individuals, and they are necessary to create wealth. Libertarians believe that the people will be both free and more prosperous if government intervene in people's economic choices is minimized. The next point is minimal state. To protect rights individuals from governments, but governments is a dangerous institution. Libertarians have a great antipathy to concentrated power. They want to divide and limit power, and that means especially to limit the government generally through a written constitution, enumerating and limiting the power that the people delegate to government. Limited government is the basic political implication of libertarianism. The state should be limited to a narrow function of protection against force, theft, fraud, enforcement of contracts, etc. Any more extensive will violate a person's right not to be forced to do certain things and as such would be unjustified. The next is natural harmony of interest. Libertarians believe that there is a natural harmony of interest among peaceful, productive people in a just society. One person's individual plans, which may involve getting a job, starting a business, buying a house, etc., may conflict with the plans of others. So the market makes them, many of us, change our plan. But we all prosper from the operation of the free market, and there are no necessary conflicts between farmers and merchants, manufacturers and importers. Only when a government begins to hand out rewards on the basis of political pressure do we find themselves involved in group conflicts, pushed to organize and contend with other groups for a piece of political power. And the last point is peace. Libertarians have always battled the age old scourge of war. They understood that war brought death and destruction on a grand scale, disrupted family, economic life, and put more power in the hands of the ruling class, which might explain why the rulers did not always share the popular sentiment for peace. Free men and women, of course, have often had to defend their own societies against foreign threats. But throughout history, war has usually been the common enemy of peaceful, productive people on all sides of the conflict. In short, libertarianism contains the standard framework of modern thought, that is, individualism, private property, capitalism, equality before law, and minimal state. However, it applies these principles fully and consistently far more than most thinkers and certainly more so that any modern government. Here we want to wind up today's lecture and we have come to the end of the unit. Thank you so much for your attention.